We had a couple of things. So the first thing that we had that went wrong was our air dryer. Now, this is your air dryer. This is what it looks like underneath your motorhome.
In the middle of the day, you turn to me and say, come on, let's get away. Skip this town for a day. Get behind the wheel and drive. We don't care about the time with you by my side. I don't need to hide, I feel alive. You bring me coffee in the morning.
Oh, how's it going, Shane?
Good. I gotta go to the front and check that.
So today is one of those days where we pulled into a harvest host, and luckily we had just gotten here. Shane parked on the side just to check it out, make sure we could pull in safely and get turned around. And all of a sudden we started hearing these noises from the front area, and it had something to do with the air pressure. And so, you know, we aren't really sure what it is. He's called Freightliner and he gave him a couple of suggestions, and then we've also reached out on a Tiffin group, and they've gave us some good suggestions. So that's really awesome. Of course, it's a Sunday. Always things like this happen on a Sunday, right? So anyway, more to come, but I'm trying to be out here helping Shane, just moral support mostly, running and grabbing tools, and more to come. So how's it going under there?
Yeah.
How's it going under there? I'm glad we bought those overalls because you're covered in hay.
Can you give me
Jack's
the key
helping.
to the store right here?
Yeah.
It's that what we need to figure out now is, first off, does the air compressor have a fuse or anything?
Oh. Okay. That's a good thought.
So
Is there something I can get to help with that?
well, let's lock this door back up.
Okay. So today we're at Shumway Farms in Afton, Wyoming, and we're at a harvest host, and we'll show you a little bit more tomorrow. This is just kind of at sunset. They have a store where they sell different dairy goods. I think ice cream and yogurt and milk, and then some beef, and I think chicken and pork as well, but we haven't been there. It'll be open tomorrow. But I just wanted, there was a little cute calf that was running around out here. I wanted to see. All the cows are mooing because I think he got out. There it is. Hi, guy. Hey, come here. Oh, here comes the horses. They think I'm calling him. Oh, there it is. Oh. So the horse is trying to say hi to the little calf. Hey, buddy. There it goes. Okay, so we're here at Shumway Farms and we're getting ready to go into the farm store. Like I mentioned before, we had a little bit of trouble yesterday when we got here with our air system. So Shane's been working pretty hard on that, and I'm just walking over to the store and he's popping in to say hi to the owners. But I'll show you, they have a lot of cute little baby cows. They're all in their little crates over here.
Hello. I saw you subscribe, thank you. Oh, yeah, we're new at it, we're trying to build it up.
Hi guys. Oh, too cute. Say hi. Oh, looks like that one of them got out yesterday that I showed you. Here's the little twins. Hi guys, what you doing? Good morning. Oh, they're so cute. But they have different age cows. I think this is a dairy farm and a beef farm. So here we are inside the cute little store at Shumway Farms. So they have like ice cream that's homemade, obviously from their dairy cows. And then they sell yogurt and eggs, cheese, raw milk, which I've never had. So we bought a little bit of raw cream that I want to try. And oh, we've opened this up so it's a little bit foggy, but they have like lots of ice cream, and then they have some different beef, like we bought some ribeye steaks, and they have sirloin. So they said at certain times of the year they have some chicken and some beef, no, some pork, but that it just isn't the right time for that. So anyway, cute little store. Looks like they're also selling some paintings. We met Jody, the owner, and his son John, and they're both just really the nicest people. Just a great place to stay, and such a cute store and farm. And I'm just gonna walk down here really quick because I have to share these cute little piglets. So there's 4 of them, and we saw them last night, and I hope they're in their little pen. It might be in the shade. It's pretty warm here. We're here in the middle of June, and it's been extra hot this year. So oh, there they are. They're hiding. Hi guys. I don't know if you can see them. Maybe they'll come this way. Hi. They're like, no way, it's way too hot. And I think, so maybe we'll come back later and see if we can see the little piglets. There's one standing up for me. Are you going to come out and say hi? I guess not. I don't blame them. They're happy in the shade. Oh, well, here he comes. Okay. Hi. You're going to come out and say hi? Hello. Are you Wilbur? Wilbur! Here he comes. Oh, Wilbur had everybody else show up. Hi guys. Aw, they're trying to eat the last of their breakfast there. I think they were hoping that I had more. Oh, now here's somebody. Wait for me. Aw, aren't they cute? I love how they like climb inside the trough. Make sure they can get everything. Hey Shane.
Hello.
So, why don't you tell everybody where we are? Like, since the last time we were at the Harvest Host and you were crawling underneath the motorhome trying to figure out what was going on.
So last time we were, as you said, at the Harvest Host. We found out that our air dryer shut-off valve or relief valve or something had a leak. Through YouTube,
and the Tiffin group.
Through the Tiffin group and through YouTube, well, through the YouTube and then a diesel mechanic I had talked to a little bit, I found out that I could take these 2 lines and bypass, so I crawled under, I did that, and that actually gave us air, and then we limped 109 miles till we got to Freightliner. And we have been sitting...
Here we are. Our new home.
We have been in Freightliner since Monday, right? Yeah, we got here Monday. Today is Friday. And we've been sitting in line. They actually took us in and started to check it, and they found a broken line also. Possibly it was right by where I disconnected and connected, and I didn't brace it, so maybe it shook while we were driving and cracked it or something. So they had to order another line for that, and so we were out here, and now we're just getting it all buttoned up because they just called us and said they're going to take it inside and hopefully get it all up and running. So we're out here at the Freightliner. The cool thing is Freightliner, and this is the second time we've been to a Freightliner, and in both of those, laundry's done, and both of those, they've had hookups for RVs, at least 3 or 4 spaces, you know, somewhere in the back of the lot somewhere or something like that. And so we had 50 amp electric service, no water or sewer, but we have that on board. But you know, so it was nice that we had the 50 amp because it was hot here, got up to 100, and so we were able to run our AC, and that was cool. And we were able to just live out here for the last week, you know, for free, waiting for our parts. So here we are, and we're getting ready. So let's hope these are all that we needed and it's done, and we'll be back on the road. I hope. Please.
Okay, so Shane is going to kind of take us through like what happened with our mechanical situation and kind of just follow up with where we ended up.
Hey guys, so first off, I am not a mechanic in any way, so just to let you know, but we finally made it out. So we were there, we got there on Monday to Freightliner, and we left Monday from Freightliner. We had to spend the weekend, had a great time in Idaho Falls though. That was nice. We took a nice bike ride and spent Father's Day there, and it was beautiful. Freightliner is great. Of course, they're great because you pay for them to be great. So we had a couple of things. So the first thing that we had that went wrong was our air dryer. Now, this is your air dryer. This is what it looks like underneath your motorhome. And this is the filter up here. This is a relief valve right here. You can see the hole. That relief valve usually is when you're in your RV and you hear it go, that's usually one of the places where it lets it go, is through that relief valve. Mine was leaking, so we thought that was bad. And also the filter, this filter, don't quote me on this, but I believe in the manual it says to change it every 2 years. Freightliner said no, you should change it at least every once a year, and if you're in a real humid or wet place, maybe even every 6 months. Interestingly, a little thing that I learned from the University of YouTube was that right here behind your wheel, now this is on a Tiffin Allegra bus, so I think, you know, I don't know if all motorhomes are like this. I do know that this is a Freightliner thing, so whichever motorhome has Freightliner should have this. But if you look right behind this wheel, you will see a little cable that just sticks out. It has like a little loop on it, like a finger loop that you can pull. There's one on this side, there's 2 on the other, and sometimes it'll be reversed 1 and 2, but there's those 3 little things. If you reach in there and take that cable and pull it, you'll hear it go, and what that does is it lets the air come out of your tank. It's just a little relief. However long you hold it for is how long it's going to do it. You're supposed to do that every so often, where you pull that and then watch and see if it's doing. If it's got moisture coming out, you got a problem. You need to go in and have your filter changed and change that. If it's just straight air, no moisture, you're good to go. But you're supposed to check those, and that's what those little cable loops are sitting down there for, I found out. So you'll see on this, there's a hole here and there's a hole on this side. Those are the things, that's how I got in. So we were 109 miles, these holes here. Back up. So we were 109 miles away from the Freightliner. We had no air. And by the way, again, in my bus, when your air pressure gets down as it bleeds off, once it gets to 40, it will put your emergency brake on, and you can't take the emergency brake off. It's just like you try to push the button, it won't do it. So that's a safety mechanism when you're driving. Once it gets down to there, it'll start slowing itself. The emergency brake will actually automatically slow you down and will set itself. It won't slam it on, but it'll put it on. So just a little thing to know. I took those two lines off. I screwed them together. That gave me air pressure. It pumped me up to 130. Again, YouTube University, I learned from a diesel mechanic on there that one thing you want to do is watch to make sure, if you ever have to do this, to make sure it doesn't get too high. And the way that you can keep it down is just as you're driving, you tap your brake and you'll hear it go and it lets a little bit of pressure out. So I monitored it the whole 109 miles. We got 30 miles from our place and we actually all of a sudden dropped. Now we dropped only to about 70, so our ride got a little rough, and I was just praying, come on baby, keep it going, keep it going. And what had happened is the line right where I had screwed them together about this far up, it broke. Now maybe it's because I didn't brace the line and that line was flopping and it did it. It also could be because the line is, you know, 16 years old. I have a 2006 Allegra bus, and it could be that the line was really old, and when it finally got that kind of pressure it blew it. I don't know, but that was one of the things we had to change. It took a little bit extra to order. It was about a 6-foot airline that was in there. So but by doing that, I was able to get to the Freightliner. Once they got in there, they checked it out. We thought it was the filter and the relief valve. It turned out to be the entire mechanism. So they changed out that mechanism, changed out the line. It pumped everything right up. They did an air leak test, tested everything, and said, you're out of here, and sent me on my way. So that was our fix. We got it done. This is your air valve, or I'm sorry, your air dryer. This is your air dryer. You want to make sure and change this filter every so often. Check your manual. Freightliner says at least once a year, more so if you're in a wet or damp environment. And again, look behind your front tires. You're going to see these little cables hanging there with a little eye hook thing for your finger. Those are to test your air tank. Just pull it, you'll hear it go, but watch, and you'll see the air come out. If it's got moisture in it, you know you need to go have this filter changed. All right, that was it. I hope that made sense, and we are back on the road, and we will see you out there. Have a great one, man. Hey, welcome to Couples Corner.
Hi there.
So today we're going to talk about a terminology we call flooding. Flooding is when we get into a response where we get overloaded, and in that flooded situation, what we're doing is we're slipping from our frontal cortex, where we process information, back to the reptilian stem of our brain, where we're going to that fight or flight mechanism. We're going into the fight mechanism. And when we're flooded, we think we can, process stuff,
Yeah.
but really
Not so much.
and we just argue. And I'll give you a great example of this, about how you can tell where you're going into this. If you've ever gotten into the car, now I know this has probably never happened with you, because I'm such a nice guy.
Yeah, probably never.
If you've ever, say you and your spouse, or you and a parent, or you and a child, or you and a friend, or whatever, you ever got into this huge knockdown, blowout argument, fight, and you're just so livid, mad, angry, okay? And you go and you get in your car and you start to drive home, or you start to drive to work or whatever. And in the car while you're driving, either the windows are up and you're using your inside voice in your head where you're arguing, or you're using your outside voice because you're in the car alone. And it's one of those things where you're like, gosh, they're such a jerk. I just can't believe, well, I probably shouldn't have said that. But I'm right. Well, okay, but and you're kind of doing this, and you're flip-flopping back and forth really fast, and you're going through. And the farther down the road you get, the slower the flip-flopping gets, and you're kind of going back. And what's happening in this is you're slipping back up into your frontal cortex, and you're starting to process that information now. Okay, you couldn't process it before. That's why you don't ever get into a fight where you're screaming and yelling at somebody and having this big blowout fight with them. And in the process of doing that, you're also in your mind going like, I probably shouldn't be saying this right now. You just don't do that because you're in that fight or flight mode.
Exactly.
And so when we're in that process, what do we need to do?
We need to take a break. And so really the only way, like Shane was explaining, like when you were driving, the further you got away, the easier it was to process the information. So it takes at least 20 minutes for the cortisol to go through your blood system one time to help you calm down. So by taking that break is, the key to being able to have that conversation. If you want to go back and talk to someone to try to solve or collaborate on the topic, then that would be the best way to go about it, by taking that break.
And there's actually a physiological change that happens in our body. We can actually put a pulsometer on your finger and watch to see when you get into a flooded situation. We'll watch your heart rate will go up to about 90 beats a minute. You get flooded. The physiological change, a lot of things you can see in your body when it happens. Some people get red and blotchy, some get cross. My jaw muscles pop out.
I get flushed.
She gets flushed, and so
my heart races.
So you can see it in your partner when those things are happening. And if you actually become aware of yourself, you can start to feel it. And, you start to feel your chest tightening up. What that is, that's a sign that you're starting to get flooded. And the best thing you can do right there is take a time out. Just stop for a second. Say, hey, hold on a sec. I need a half hour to just relax for a second, then let's come back and talk. And we'll talk more in another video about timeouts and the process when we come into discussions, the 3-step process that we go into.
Yep.
But just monitor yourself and see when you're flooded, and just watch. Think about that example I gave, and have you ever had that happen? And maybe not that drastic. Even maybe the two of you just got in an argument in the motorhome while you're driving down the road, and you just feel yourself getting tight, and you just kind of shut down and that kind of stuff. Think about that. And there's the stonewalling and there's the flooding. Flooding usually goes to arguing. Stonewalling goes to shutting down.
Right.
All right. Hey, guys. Thank you for watching our videos and being here.
Yep. And please, if you like the video, like it, and then subscribe and ring the bell. Hit the bell. All right.
Hey, we will see you out on the road. If you see us out there, please say hi. We look forward to meeting all of you.
Everyone. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.